So today you're going to want to have a chair and or some blocks. And I usually tell you that you can use a chair for some certain poses, but I don't show you. So today I'm going to actually show you how to use the chair in lieu of blocks if you don't have blocks, or you just need something a little higher than the blocks. So just a regular like dining room chair or a stool totally will work. Nothing too high will totally work. And then we're gonna just start seated on, you can sit on a blanket or on the floor. And we're gonna sit up nice and tall. Let's lift the shoulders, pull them back, drop them down. Close your eyes. And let's just start focusing on the breath. Today, we're going to be focusing on grounding and our hamstrings. And grounding just reminds me that we need to start where we are. We're starting to really recognize where we are in space, physically, emotionally, and maybe spiritually as well. So we're just sitting up nice and tall, belly's pulled in a little bit, and then we're thinking about where the sits bones are. So we're grounding down our sits bones a little. So you might move your hips a little and just feel them pressing down into the floor as you let the crown of your head rise up just about a centimeter or so. And then as you inhale, think the word in. And as you exhale, think the word out. Letting the breath ground us into the present moment. We're going to take it one step further with a little pranayama. So we're going to take your right hand and you're just going to bring your pointer finger and your middle finger to your palm. We're going to be using your ring finger and your thumb. So your ring finger touches one nostril and your thumb touches the other. So I'm going to try not to use left and right so you're not confused. We're just going to take your ring finger to your nose and inhale. So we're plugging the one side with the nose, we're just pushing that nostril and we're inhaling. And then we're going to take the thumb to the other nostril and then exhale. Keep the thumb there, inhale. We're going to bring that ring finger in, exhale. Inhale. Bring the thumb to the nostril, exhale. Inhale. Ring finger to the nostril, exhale. Inhale. Thumb to the nostril, exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Ring finger, inhale. Exhale. Thumb to the nostril, inhale. Exhale. Now just keep going like that on your own. Don't worry if you don't have it perfect. It honestly doesn't matter. Let's do 2 more rounds on each side. More. Just bring the hand down, let the breath come to whatever's natural for you. Bring the chin down just slightly, lengthening the back of the neck. Feeling the sits bones pressing down into the earth or whatever you're sitting on. Just really getting focused in the present moment. So we're feeling the sits bones, we're feeling the breath, feeling the air surrounding us, feeling the clothes on our body. Noticing if we feel a little hot, a little cold. And as you breathe, notice where you feel the breath. Do you feel it in the chest? Do you feel it in the belly? Do you feel it on your face? You feel the stillness in the present moment. Or maybe there's not stillness where you are. Maybe you hear a dog walking around, or planes flying overhead. It's all okay. Now, during our practice today, the goal is to stay in the present moment as much as you can. And if you notice yourself drifting, just come back to your breath. And there's nothing wrong. Everyone drifts. So we're not punishing ourselves. We're just saying, oh, I've wandered off. And then gently bring yourself back. We're going to let the eyes open. Come onto our hands and knees. We're going to start here, grounding 4 points. So we're going to be grounding the knees. We're grounding the hands. So we're pressing the knees down into the mat. If you feel discomfort while you're pressing the knees down, pad the knees with a blanket or something. There's nothing wrong with using a little padding. And then we're going to have the hands be very specific with the hands. Spread your fingers nice and wide. Pointer fingers are pointing directly forward to the front of your mat. And we're pressing the base of your pointer fingers down. So you're feeling your whole hand make contact with the mat, and then slightly grip the mat with your fingertips. And then we're going to just keep focusing on the hands and the knees as we press the middle of the back up toward the ceiling. So we're pressing down as we round. Good. Nice. Pressing down as we round. Now we're going to arch. We're still pressing down, rolling the shoulders back, lifting the chest forward. Good. Round. Nice. Arch. And round. Now we're going to add the breath. We're anchoring into the present moment. So we're going to inhale in one direction, exhale in the other. Inhale in one direction, exhale in the other. Good. Breathe. Keep going. You're going to stay in the present moment, moving the body. One more cycle. Round and arch. Good. And then float back into child's pose. So we're going to come back into child's pose, forehead to the mat, knees apart, big toes together, breath. So we're noticing any discomfort in the pose and comfort in the pose. So if you have discomfort, feel free to adjust. Make the knees a little wider or make the knees a little closer together. Maybe your arms could be forward. Maybe you feel better when they're down by your sides. Making this moment count and breathe. And here we're grounding into the arms a little bit. We're just letting them be heavy. We're not pushing the arms down. We're softening them down and letting them be heavy. And the knees, the shins, and the feet are just grounding down. So we're letting ourselves be the puddle. Inhale, float up to table. Nice. Belly in. Center the left knee, right leg kicks behind you. Good. So we're just kicking the right leg forward. We're really pressing that left knee down and that left arm's reaching forward. So we now are grounding through one hand and one knee. Hold. Belly in to steady you. Good. Elbow to knee. And press it out. Stay present. Elbow to knee. Press it out. Hold. Hold. Let's lift the arm. Let's lift the leg. Nice. Lower the hand down. Lower the knee down. Let's switch. We're going to center the right knee. Left leg kicks behind you. Belly in. Right arm reaches forward. So we're still grounding through the one foot and one hand. We're conscious of that, using those parts of our body. Belly in, elbow to knee. Good. Elbow to knee, press it out. They don't have to touch. Elbow to knee. Press it out. Good. Lower the hand down. Lower the knee down. Now let's do down dog. We're going to curl the toes under. Lift the hips up toward the ceiling and back toward the back wall. Grounding through the hands again, so we're pressing the base of the pointer fingers down. And the heels, they might not touch, but they're grounding down toward the floor. So the energy is going down into the floor while we ground. Good. Gazes between the knees. And we're really present because we are really grounding everything we got into the floor. Breathe. Nice. Let's walk the hands back nice and slow to a standing forward fold. Now the heels, if they weren't making contact before, they are now. Your hands don't have to be contacted with the floor. They could be on your shins, but make sure your hands are touching something so everything's grounding. Chin to chest, and let the upper body be heavy. Opening into those hamstrings for the first time here. So you might feel like your back is rounding, that's okay. We're not pulling, we're just letting gravity work. Now let's roll it up, one vertebrae at a time. Very nice. Okay, we're gonna inhale, reach up. Exhale and fold. So fold it forward again. And we're gonna come up halfway. So we're gonna come up, maybe your hands come to your shins. Maybe they come to your knees. Maybe they're even on your thighs. What you want is the flat spine, okay? So you want a flat spine and straight legs. So if you need to bend the knees a little to get your back straight, that's okay. If you need to come up to get your back straight, that's okay. Good. Now we're gonna fold. Rounding is fine. Breathe. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Good. So I'm going to take this chair and bring it over to the mat. So if you want to use a chair, feel free. If you want to use your blocks, I'll give you instructions on that. So we're just going to use the chair instead of blocks, but the blocks would just be set up in front of you, like so. So then when you fold, your hands would come onto the blocks instead of the chair. That's really the big difference. So we're going to be standing right in front of the chair. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, let's fold past the chair. Watch your head. Good, chin to chest. Now we're going to come up to the chair or your blocks. Hands are on either side of the seat here. And we're going for that flat back. Good. So just like we did at the beginning, we were doing before we were doing cat-cow, we're going to do that here with straight legs. If you have a little bend in the knee, that's fine, but the legs don't move. We're going to round and arch. So there's a tendency to bend and straighten, but we want to keep the legs really still so we can ground the feet down and we can arch and round. The legs don't move. Arch and round. Now, if you find your hips don't move very much, that's okay. They don't have to move a lot for a lot to be happening. Good, round and arch. Nice, one more time, round and arch. Now when we arch, keep the arch as you try to fold a little bit more. So maybe you just bring your forehead to your chair, or if your hands are on your block, you're just going to come down. We're just trying to open those hamstrings. We're blossoming the glutes. That's what my teacher used to say. Good. And then we're going to come up. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Good. So we're going to let's take your left foot underneath your chair a little bit. If you have blocks, it's just going to go in between your blocks, okay? So your foot is underneath your chair. Your other foot is about 2.5 feet back. Good. Nice. Inhale, reach up. Both legs are straight. Hips are square to the front of your mat. Good. And we're going to fold. Nice. So fold as far as you can comfortably go. And then come up. We're going to be halfway. Good. So the back is flat. So I'm a little higher than than halfway, so halfway might be here, but that's okay. You could bend your elbow. You could put your elbow on the chair. You could put your elbow on the chair with your block, like so. Now we're gonna take your left hand to your left hip, and we're gonna just turn the chest to the left. Got a nice little stretch here. Reach the hand up and just try to turn the chest to the ceiling. Probably not going to go, but that's okay. We're just working on that energy to shine upward as we press the feet down. Nice. Bring that hand back down. Good. I'm going to use this block again. I'm going to inhale, come up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Let's take this front foot, pop it back. Good. We're going to do the other side. Right foot underneath your chair or between your blocks. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, let's fold. Grab that chair, maybe come down. If you can flatten your back, you're going to come down close to the chair. You're going to come down and open up that back hamstring. And the front hamstring, everything's opening. And then we're going to come up halfway. If you're higher than halfway, maybe the elbow can go to that block or the chair seat. And then we're going to bring your right hand to your right hip. Stack the shoulders. Good. Nice. Reach the hand up. So this is a revolved Trikonasana triangle pose. It can be a difficult pose. Lots of tight things happen here. So a chair can make it a little more accessible to get the correct, I hate that word correct, but to get the form a little bit more open. Good, bring that hand down. Good, coming up. Nice. Bring hands to heart center. Bring the legs together. Good. We're just going to set the chair aside. We don't hit our head on it or anything. Inhale, reach up. Exhale and fold. Good. Plant the hand, step it back, down dog. Regrounding all through 4 points, hands and feet, pressing the heels toward the floor, stretching to the back of the legs, pressing the base of your pointer fingers down, grip the mat. Good, lower down onto the knees. Let's come to seated. Good. Nice. Let's find that seated position. Bring the bottoms of your feet together. So we're grounding now through the bottoms of your feet into yourself. Press the knees down and tilt the hips forward. We're still finding those sits bones just like before. Hands can grab onto your ankles, your shins, or you can cap around your toes. Do what feels comfortable. And we're going for that straight spine, pressing the knees down. So we're grounding the entire leg into the earth. Even if they're not touching, they're grounding toward the floor. Sit up tall. Close your eyes. So as you press your knees down, and if it's really hard to do, maybe go up a little higher on your blocks or on something you're sitting on, so you can go on your block to make it more accessible. You can ground into a block. And then we're sitting up tall, pressing the knees down. And then you feel yourself as you compress the sits bones down, the knees down, and you work towards straightening your spine. You start to feel like you're straighter and you're rising up. Root to rise. Heard that a lot of times in a yoga class. And sometimes it doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but in this pose, it might. Very good. Now if you're sitting on a block, let's set it aside. Keep rooting the feet together as we roll all the way down onto our back. Let the knees soften down toward the floor. Shoulder blades, now we're paying attention to what's in contact with the mat. So we want to lay those shoulder blades down so they're flat on the mat. So you feel that comfort in the upper body. And the knees are softening toward the floor. Your hands can be down by your sides. They could be on your belly. You just want to make a conscious decision on where you put them. We're pressing down on the blades of our feet a little bit and then softening. And we're grounding through less effort. Sometimes that's not easy. Focusing on the breath. And noticing where you can soften to let go a little bit more. Let's straighten into the legs. And with each breath, for the next 5 or so rounds, think about the body getting heavier with each exhale. Sinking with every breath. One more deep inhale. One more complete exhale. And then into the knees. Let's roll onto one side of our body and rest. Press up to a seated position. Sitting up tall. You can't go back and change the beginning, but you can start where you are and change the ending. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me this afternoon. Have a wonderful rest of your week. Namaste.